How are you? All good? Want to learn how to play piano? Find your way through that maze of black and white keys? Most of all, want to get comfortable with it? Do you want to start getting your hands on it with a bit of confidence? Well, you're in the right place. I've been doing this for years in my piano courses at the conservatory, and for years I've had students of all kinds of singers who wants to be able to accompany themselves with at least a basic understanding during their studies. Drummers who want to gain harmonic awareness of what they are playing in a song, and maybe even play it themselves on the piano. Passionate professionals of all kinds, the first thing to do, setting aside traditional studies for a moment, which those who wish can of course explore further later, because you should know that I always recommend it. But first and foremost, it's good to get comfortable with the instrument in a way that's not too overwhelming. I'm not saying you should immediately start playing songs, but I definitely want my students to learn right from the beginning what the main role of the piano is in pop music, which is the basics of accompaniment. From the very first experience, I would like it to be more musical than technical. There will be time for that later. Welcome, let's get started. First of all, we need to get our bearings and find our way around the keyboard. Let's sit in a fairly composed manner on a bench that allows us to keep our elbow at a right angle. I say this because many of us place our keyboards in all sorts of positions, on tables, maybe even a little inside the table, so that to play we have to bend our backs or lean forward in positions. Not exactly comfortable, and that's fine too, we all do it. However, when we're thinking in terms of production, I just put a kick on the floor, play 4 beats, and I'm done, and so on. But if we need to switch over and study piano, even for short periods of time, it's best to be organized and composed right from the start. To avoid unpleasant issues from incorrect posture that over time could cause problems, your legs should also be at a 90-degree angle just under the keyboard. So if both your legs and elbows are at right angles, then you've achieved the correct posture and the right height. This applies both to the chair or stool you're using and to the keyboard itself. The position of the hands, the curvature is easy to reproduce if you imagine holding a small ball or an orange in your hand. Be sure not to squeeze. Keep your hands relaxed. Turn your hand over, and this is the correct position. Relaxed, without any tension, make sure to check your whole arm, your wrist, your fingers, that they are nicely curved. This is called the hammer finger position. The keys, later, we'll see that they are pressed with the fingertips. If we bring both hands together in the position we've just achieved, we should see something like a spider reflected in a mirror. Be careful not to bend the first phalanx like this, it's wrong. Remember, it should be in the hammer position. Alright, let's move on to the keyboard. As we can see, it's organized in modules, so to speak. Especially if we look at the black keys. We notice that the pattern repeats in groups of 2 and 3. 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, and so on. It depends, of course, on how many octaves your keyboard has. But in any case, the pattern is always the same. This feature, among other things, helps us navigate the keyboard when searching for and learning the notes. The first thing to do is to focus on one of the groups of 2 black keys. And immediately to the left we find the DO. If we place the index and middle fingers of the right hand on the 2 black keys of the group of 2, with the thumb on the white key immediately to the left of the index finger, we find C. The C you find in the middle of your keyboard is called middle C, the one in the most central part, precisely. And now, continuing along all the white keys, we find the notes of the C scale, which is the one we've all had within us since childhood, in some way. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C again. Notice that when we reach the next C, we find ourselves next to the group of 2 black keys. From here, the pattern starts over. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. We find ourselves next to the group of 2 black keys and the pattern repeats. This continues across the entire keyboard. For now, we'll stick with our reference points, but you'll see that soon everything will become automatic. For now, if we need to find a G, we look for the group of 2 black keys. We find the C, C, D, E, F, G. Then you'll see that, little by little, we'll be able to instantly recognize all the notes at a glance automatically. For now, even just being able to quickly spot all the C's at a glance can help us gauge distances and orient ourselves on the keyboard. 2 black keys. 2 black keys, C. 2 black keys, C. And we can do the same thing, or rather, we can use another point of reference with the group of 3 black keys, which give us as the note immediately to the left an F. I place my 3 fingers index, middle, and ring on the 3 black keys, and with my thumb, almost automatically, we find the F. So right now, 3 black keys, 3 black keys F, 3 black keys F, 3 black keys. So at this point, if we already have another reference which is F, so 3 black keys, we are already more or less halfway through the C scale. So F, G, A, B, C, group of 2 black keys, C, D, E, F, group of 3 black keys, F, G, A, B, C, group of 2 black keys, and so on. Let's move on to the hands, specifically the fingers. So far, we've called them by their names: thumb, index, middle, and so on. But you should know that, pianistically speaking, they are numbered from the thumb of both hands to the pinky. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 finger 1, finger 2, finger 3, finger 4, and finger 5 from the thumb to the pinky on both hands. Good, let's start playing with all the information we've received. Position, relaxation, and so on. I play a C. With the right hand, with the one with the thumb, let's make it look like a drop. Our thumb drops onto the C. If this is your first time doing it, it might feel like an enormous effort. But don't worry, that's completely normal. And please, if you start to feel pain, stop and take a short break. And while playing the C with the one of the hand, let's make sure that all the other fingers and the hand in general maintain a certain composure so things like this don't happen. Like this. But that the hand stays completely relaxed and the thumb gently drops down onto the C on the keyboard. Let's try to do the same thing with the 2, with the index finger. Still on C, still just letting it drop, and always making sure that the rest of the hand stays nice, composed, and relaxed. Now let's try with the 3, with the middle finger. Same concept, you see? Be careful that the finger always gently strikes the note like a little hammer, like this. So that the hand doesn't develop any strange tension but always stays relaxed. Let's try with the 4. 5. Don't worry if you feel a bit stiff, the fluidity will come gradually. Let's try to do the same thing with the left hand as well. Let's start with the thumb, this time with the 1, but let's find the G. So a group of 2 notes, C, C, T, F, G. Good. Let's start playing the G with the thumb of the left hand, just as we did with the right hand. Feel the sensation of dropping, hand relaxed, everything nice and relaxed. Let's try moving to the 2, still on G. Let me point out that right from the start you'll notice that some fingers are more difficult than others. The 4th and 5th fingers, for example ring finger and the pinky because of physical reasons, are and always will be a bit more challenging for certain movements. Let's try with 3. The thumb, on the other hand, which might seem easier, actually gets tired very quickly. 4th. try the fifth. Obviously, take all the time you need, okay? But let's move right on to playing our first songs. Careful, don't get your hopes up, I'm joking, of course, but only up to a point. Many of you will have heard of the famous C chord progression. The chord progression, known as the beach progression, the most famous and most used chord progression. 1,000 songs can be played with the C progression, like Stand By Me, Unchained Melody, Blue Moon, Everybody, You Take, Crocodile Rock, Perfect by Ed Sheeran, and 1,000 others. This chord progression, made, built, and played in C, includes only and exclusively the white keys on our keyboard. And starting from C, 2 white keys, C, then you go A, C, D, E, F, G, A. So do A, then we move to F, C, D, E, F. So C, A, F, and finally to G, which is just after F. So C, A, F, G. If we then take these 3 notes and bring them down, so we bring them into the same pattern, but an octave lower, as they say, we end up having the progression played like this. Do A, C, A, F, G. So, I wanted to play you some small fragments of the songs I listed earlier to show you. Basically, with this chord progression, you can already play a ton of songs, really a lot. So let's try playing. Now, let's play the notes of the C progression single notes, even just with the thumb, with finger 1. This way we start moving a bit on the keyboard and getting a feel for it. Let's try. The notes are C, A, F, G. So C, A, F, G, C, A, F, G. Let's also try changing fingers. Let's do everything with finger 2. C, A, F, G. Always pay attention to your hand. G. Let's try with finger 3. C, F, G, C, F, G. Try finger 4. C, F, G. G. Let's try with finger 5. C, attention to your posture and make sure all the parts involved are relaxed. As always, pay attention to your fingers, make sure to play with a hammer-like motion, never let the first phalanx bend, and so on. It's important to practice with all the fingers because it helps you get a sense of the keyboard's distances and allows your brain to orient itself. Yes, I said your brain, because it's the first organ that needs to learn the movements, even before your hands. Let's also try with the left hand, always starting with the thumb, C, A, F, G. Obviously, I'm doing it like this, at a medium tempo, but you should first take all the time you need, carefully study each movement separately, and then start doing it more or less the way I'm doing it, if you want to play along here in the video. So C, A, F, yeah, C, A, F, G. Let's try with the twang C, A, F, G, D, A, G with the freer finger, C, M, F, G, C, G with the fourth finger, C, A, F, G, F, G, C, A, F, G with the five finger, C, A, F, G, G, F, F, G. But I promised you that we would play, and so we will. Let's go. Let's start with the single notes with the right hand, using whichever finger we want. I would suggest starting with the first finger, the thumb. Let's try with a very simple song, which is Stand By Me, where the progression is always the C progression. So C, A, F, G, and it's always the same throughout the whole song. I'll call out the notes in advance, and we'll try to play together. Then after these pieces, you can use them to play or to practice. We'll hear the metronome giving us the tempo, and then we'll start with the C note. We'll hear ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta, boom, with the C. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, C, okay? So let's get our thumb ready and C, and take your time as we start with the piece. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, C, A, G, C, C, A, F, G, C, yeah. C, A, F, G, C, A, F, G, C, C, A, F, yeah. Nope. A, F, G, C, ending C. Nice, right? Fun. Obviously, my advice is to play it using all your fingers and with both hands for best results. So, play it a few times as much as possible. It's good practice anyway. You really get to study all the different movements of both hands. But now let's tackle another piece. Still in C, obviously still based on the C progression, but there are a few little differences here and there. Let's add a small challenge, as I always like to do. And it's Perfect by Ed Sheeran, which I imagine you all know. In fact, let's add another small challenge. Let's switch hands and maybe even change fingers. Let's do it with the third finger of the left hand. Here too, we'll hear starter with the voice, and then the song will begin. And at the beginning, don't worry, it's still the C progression. So, C, A, F, G. Then there are a few small variations, but I'll always call out the notes for you in advance, and you'll see that we'll have fun playing this one too. Let's go. 2, 3, C. Go. C. Yep. Go. Careful, small variation. C, G, C, C progression. G, F, C, G, E, E, G, E, F, C, G, F, G. Careful, here comes a scale. C, B, A, G, F, G, D. Good, the last phase is about the first chords. Still using only the white keys. You should know that if you play a note, then skip one and play the next. Skip another and play the next. You are, for the first time, dealing with a triad, a 3-note chord. If we start from the note C, for example, then skip the note D, play the note E, skip the note F, and play the note G, we are choosing specific notes. By playing all three of these notes together, we get what is called the C major chord. For this chord, we use fingers 1, 2, and 4 on the keyboard. And if we start from A, we do the same thing. We skip it, the B, we play the C, we skip the D, and play the E. We find ourselves faced with an A minor. The same. If we start from F, skip G, A, skip B, C, and so on. F major, Sol, skipper. B, skip C, D, G major. So in terms of chords, we have the complete C major progression. C major, A minor, F major, G major. So the very first thing you need to do, for now, simply practice carefully with your right hand, getting used to all the movements of the whole hand as it plays all the chords. Try to reach the chords without making a mess, without any mistakes. And once you've really gotten used to them, we can also play the songs we've already done, but this time using chords instead of single notes. And little by little, we can play them with both the right hand and the left hand so that we eventually reach the very last stage of the work. Adding the left hand, which plays together with the right hand, but it only plays the root notes of the chords. So, single notes, which are played an octave below, as we say, with the left hand, and the full chords with the right hand. Like this. A minor F, G, Well guys, we've reached the end of this very first real pop rock piano lesson. I hope you had fun, that you've started to get comfortable with the keys, with the chords, with the notes, but above all, with the music. And obviously this is just the beginning, but even just looking at the start, look at how far we've come. I recommend you stay connected to my academy and my newsletter. There are always great new things coming for everyone. A big hug, and I'll see you in the academy. Bye.